Hello, friends. I'm here with a quick little tutorial on how to make flower art. You are going to need a couple of wall pieces with a wall cell. You're going to just put that over to the side. And then you're also going to need a pillar. Any pillar is fine. I just pulled out one of the metal pillars that I have available. And then you're going to need some sort of step stool because we're too short. And then we right now just have a bunch of flowers laid out in our art pattern just as an example of like the shape that we're going for. So what we're going to start off doing is making sure that our shelf is on the wall and just kind of put it, whichever position. We're going to rotate it and move it around a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our pillar and notice where your pillar is. It's currently at like a straight angle. It's not like twisted or rotated or anything like that. We're going to put it right up here into the middle. Just kind of center it as much as you can. And then what we're going to do is we're always going to be facing the same angle whenever we pick things up so that they don't get twisted. So I'm going to pick this up and rotate it at a 90-degree angle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do something that's called the cancellation placement. So we're going to take our flowers here, we're going to move them over a little bit, just to spot number two, and then I'm going to take my food and place it in spot number one, just to make things a little bit easier. So we're going to take the pillar and pick it up, and we're going to bring it over to the first position of our flower art. So our pillar again is not twisted or anything; it's just at a straight angle. We're going to kind of keep track of where we're putting it on the grid. So I've got it on like the second square out from the main line. And then I'm going to, instead of placing it and clicking it, I'm just going to push number one from my keypad and that pulls out my food. I don't actually want to place the food, so I'm just going to cancel out. And what I do want to place is actually going to be the flower. We'll not pick up the brick. So I'm going to place the flower. So I'm just going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to turn the grid off just to make it easier. And then I'm just going to line it up on top of the pillar. And then what I can do is take the pillar and move it over to the side, and that will put our bush facing sideways. So you see it's no longer sitting upright like a bush normally would. So our pillar should keep the same direction, and our flower is going to end up kind of behind us or to the side of us. So I'm going to rotate this back how we had it before, pick the pillar up. So, and I want to be kind of facing the same direction whenever I pick it up. And I'm going to put it back up there right in the middle. So notice that your flower is over here to your right. Now we're going to take it and we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. So then your flower is kind of going to be in the way, but you should still be able to pick up the pillar in the same angle. You can get down off of the box if you want to. It doesn't really make a difference. I'm going to pick it up and you can see our flower is still kind of behind us and our pillar is still at a straight angle. And we're going to just put it a little bit further than what we had it before. And instead of placing it down like I just did, we are just going to do the fake placement, which is just pushing number one like in our inventory. So obviously I messed it up, so I'm going to redo that. So I'm going to put it back up there, rotate it at the 90 degrees. I'm going to pick up our pillar if I can get it highlighted. And if I can't, I'll just go over here and do it. So again, our flower is behind us. We're going to go a little bit further than what we had before. And we're on that second grid line. I'm going to push number one, pull my food forward. And I don't want to place my food, so I'm just going to cancel it out. And then I want to place my flower, so I'm just going to hit number two where the flowers are. And I'm just going to place it right on top. And then we can move our pillar. And those two flowers should now be stacked on top of each other. So we're just going to repeat that process until we have an arch that is shaped like our arch pattern like we have on the ground. So again, picking that up, I want to stay at the same direction. So I'm going to pop back up here, place the pillar back up right in the middle, take our shelf, rotate it at 90 degrees, and place it down. And then we're going to pick up the pillar. And you see the pillar twisted that time I don't want that. So I want to make sure that I'm facing perfectly straight towards the pillar so the pillar comes off uh, straight as well. So we're just going to go a little bit further than what we had before. Again, staying in that second line after the main grid, pulling the food forward. And then we're going to place our flour right on top of the pillar. And you want to rotate your flour just a bit to keep it straight. And then I'm going to pick up our pillar again and place it down. And that will put our next flour right on top for the arc. So we'll repeat the process again. We're just going to keep doing the same thing. So we're going to put it up here. Now notice that we are in the curve here. So whenever we put our flour on top, we're going to want to curve our flour to the shape of the arc. So when we put the flour up, we don't really want to put it straight because that's not going to give us a very good arc. So we're just going to twist it to an angle that we feel like is good. And then we can move the pillar to check it. And there we go. Now it's on top. And I actually put it, honestly, a little bit too close to the other one. So I'm just going to put it back down. And then we'll try that again. Don't want them overlapping that much. So, all right. So we're going to pick it up. And we pick up the pillar, and the flour should stay behind us. We'll put the pillar up there, 90-degree angle again. So our top pillar is kind of already, our top flower is kind of already there. So we're just going to bring food forward, and then we're going to take our flour, turn off the grid. It makes it a little bit easier. And we'll put the flour at a little bit of an angle like that. And then that should put that flour right on top. They're still kind of overlapping, but we get the gist of things. Kind of mess with it and turn it around as much as you need to. Okay, but then we're doing the same thing. And you'll just want to make sure your flowers kind of stay in the right position the whole time. So they should right now be over to the right of us, slightly behind us whenever we first pick it up. And then it should be pretty much at the same angle as your pillar whenever you go to place your pillar back up there and have it rotated. So we're going to pick up that pillar again, and it's at the correct angle. Whenever we're facing like this, it's at the correct angle, but we also need to rotate us a little bit. We're going to put it right over here. I'm just going to bring our food forward, and then we can place our flour on top. And then we can move our pillar and check on our work. And there we go. Keep in mind that your pillar is going to be the anchor for this. So right now I've got the wall pretty close to where our flower arch is. Um, and that is going to make the anchor for this also pretty close. So if you want it to be further away, you just need to start with your wall pieces further away as well. It will be a lot of running back and forth, but just depending upon the look you're going for, you can make it worth it. Okay, again, we're at a 90-degree angle, and we're picking it up while we're facing the pillar. And bring it right over here and bring our food forward. And I put that way too far away. So let me try this again while I'm actually looking at it here. Okay, put that back. And that pillar actually just jumps right back up there with it, as you can see. All right, so we're going to pick up the pillar. We're going to bring it right around here, bring our food forward, cancel out of that, and then put our flour. And then we should be able to put our pillar back down. And I did not rotate ourselves. So you see what happens? I messed it up again. So do not judge. I am not perfect. Or do judge. I don't really care. That's okay too. Okay, so 90-degree angle. Let's do this one correctly. Picking our pillar up while we're facing it. And then again, we're going to make sure that we put it closer to the original arc. All right. And then that should have done the trick. There we go. So now we're starting to really see the arcs form. I'm going to fix ourselves first. And then I'm going to pick up the pillar with the flowers over to the behind and to the right of us so that the pillar stays straight. And then we're going to rotate, pick the pillar up while we're facing it. And our last placement was right around this area. So we're going to go a little bit lower and then place our flower. And we're going to rotate our flower so it gives us the length that we need on the arc. And then we'll move the pillar to make sure it snaps into place. There we go. And then repeating the process again. We're almost finished with our arc. The pillar is straight and the flower is to the right of us. We're going to rotate. And then we're going to place our pillar right around here. And this will probably be the last one. We want to make sure that we have our bush rotated or we're going to get the height that we need off of it. So everything is going to reach the ground. We'll move our pillar to snap it into place. And we probably still need one more bush here because it's a little bit higher on that side. So we'll pick the pillar back up and we're going to bring it over here, fix our shelf. Would have done that first. Doesn't really make a difference. And then we're going to put this back into the middle. And as you can see, you could actually do this in the ground too. It just depends upon how close you want to be to it. But whenever you go to put the pillar or the flower on top of the pillar, that's whenever you really need the extra height because we are short little characters. So we're going to put this here, bring our food forward, switch it out for our flower, and then get my height up here. And put our flower, snap it down, and our bush is kind of funky there. Let's try that one again. Do not have this perfected at all. So do what you want with it and experiment, see how you like it. Okay, we're gonna pick it up, 90-degree angle, and bring it back over this way, and we'll put it a little bit lower. And we're gonna pull that food forward, and then switch it out with our flower. And our flower's at a good angle for the height. And then we're gonna snap our pillar over, and then there we go. We have an arc. And it's that. So a little bit of maneuvering, a little bit of reworking it just to see if you like the shape of it. As you can see, we're kind of like a bare area right there in the middle, but you can just rearrange things how you need. So that's it. Thank you.